It's here, and the rollout would take 3 years. No more boarding passes. You heard me. No more boarding passes. Going fully digital. Fully digital.
Passengers would download a biometric passport on their phone, drop off their luggage, and go through security after a face scan. Then you'd board the plane without showing your ticket or a passport at all. But what does that all mean for your privacy? Let's ask Kurt, the cyber guy. He joins us now. Katie on the staff here went through, she said in Dubai, they just looked right at her, boom, she goes in. So this is happening some places already. Should we be nervous? I mean, that feels kind of like a pretty big step.
Well, Clay, good morning to you. I'm wondering who's in control of all this data?
Great question.
Who is going to be the one that keeps the safety of all our deeply personal facial recognition data safe that matches to our credentials? It is what people are calling the biggest shakeup in the airline industry in at least 50 years. Airlines and airports doing away over the next 3 years with the check-in process, as well as scanning a boarding pass. That'll all go away. A biometric digital travel credential will be created, or you could use your smartphone.
What do you think, people? Are you thinking like I'm thinking? Again, what do you think, and are you thinking like I'm thinking? Because it's here. The last phase before total control is here. And it's going to be worldwide. And it's going to be inescapable. I talked about in my earlier video how I went out with my son last night. And the place that I went to, the arcade center, no longer are you expected to check in and be greeted and people handle your information and you get your playing cards. You go to a machine. You actually go to a kiosk. Took me a while to wrap my mind around it. It reminded me of a few years ago when I went to a restaurant and I had to go to a kiosk to place my order for food. It seems like anything and everything is being pushed. Oh, look, I'm gonna go there. Everything is being pushed. I feel so bad for the senior citizens. I've helped, and you've probably assisted older people or people who are challenged with going through the steps. Luckily, I've had a few jobs where I've had quote unquote upgrades to technology. If I didn't, I literally would have to have somebody hold my hand, because when I go out, I can't relate to the new world, the brave new world. Is it beneficial? Why are we doing it? Again, are you thinking what I'm thinking? When I saw this video last night, I said, you know what? Isn't it interesting how this is transpiring as Doge is transpiring? I'm gonna say it again. Isn't this interesting that this is transpiring as Doge is transpiring? Because in my mind, Doge is just not taking a financial surgical microscope to all of our government agencies saying, look what I found, let's cut the waste, fraud, and abuse. To me, it's a data grab. And I say that because the head honcho involved is Elon Musk. And as many of you guys know, Elon Musk has built arguably the biggest computer on earth in Memphis. And can he be trusted going through data? Can his disciples, I call them, be trusted with our data? And now we get the airlines doing it. Do you understand what I'm saying? They couch it under the umbrella of convenience. They also say that because of security breaches, this is it's problem, action, solution. But I bet they've had this plan for over 30, 40 years. And that's the way I see it. But I digress. I want to know what you think. Let me play another one here.
They use convenience to get you, right?
Yeah.
This has always been the trick of all these social media platforms. I asked my daughter in the commercial break, I texted her because I know she's been covering this to some degree on her show, on her podcast.
Which is dominating, by the way.
She has the #1 new podcast of the year.
That's pretty cool.
Amazing, with Evita Duffy. It's called The Early Edition with Evita Duffy. But I asked her what her thoughts were, and this is what she said. She said a mandatory face scan is Orwellian because it creates a system of mass surveillance where the government constantly tracks, identifies, monitors individuals without their consent. Like in George Orwell 1984, it treats ordinary people as suspects simply for participating in normal life, such as traveling. She also says she believes it violates the 4th and the 5th Amendment. So there you go. Just thought I'd tell you.
I'm going to mangle this quote from Benjamin Franklin, but it went something along the lines of for people who would choose between security and liberty, if they choose security, they deserve neither. And the same you could say about convenience. If you
Just thought I'd tell you.
Passengers will scan and download biometric passport with their phone. A lot of senior citizens don't have this. Will there be networks set up where a senior citizen can go to a place and get this done? Passengers can drop off checked luggage by simply scanning their face. I mean, come on, people. I mean, I don't want to use the word old school. I just believe in simple things. How many of you guys believe in, just keep it simple? Because this spells control. I don't care how you sell it. This spells control. And it's like no matter where you turn, whether it's a fast food or, like I said, going to an arcade center or now going through the airport, you've got to think, oh, here's Mr. 666, and I got to go through this. Passengers will get through security by scanning face and passport stored on their phone. You know, another thing I want to throw out there. Once we had COVID, when you go through the tolls, how many people lost their jobs at the toll booths? Now, I had to check in about a couple years ago because I received a letter saying I went certain place that I had never been before. So I called the toll company. They're like, yeah, people are trying to scam you. I says, you know, why I got you on the phone? Are those people who were at the toll booth to take your money when you went from one part to another or over a bridge, are they coming back? The lady was like, you know what? I used to work in one of those. And about 80% of us, we're working now. But 20% of them, they never got their job back. Automation, right? Can you spell automation? So the point I'm trying to make is, what's going to happen to the ticket agents at the airport? When you call in over the phone, will you be talking to someone? Or will you be prompt to, you know, download everything? And when I speak of this, I know that's already set up. But if you have a problem, will there be a person you can talk to? Passengers can board plane without needing to scan boarding pass or show passport. Well, we got the Real ID coming out, right? That won't be long, a few weeks from now. I went and updated my Real ID. Anybody got their Real ID? Check it out. America switches over to Real ID. Beginning May 7, 2025, U.S. travelers will need a Real ID, compliant driver's license, or state ID, or another acceptable form of identification, like a passport, to board domestic flights and access certain federal facilities, according to the Transportation Security Administration. This requirement applies to all passengers 18 years and older, including those with pre-check. Those without a real ID may face delays, additional screening, or may not be permitted through security checkpoints. Real ID. Coming to a town near you. I tell you, people, it's serious. Did I ever finish? Yeah, I finished that out. So yeah, new airport rules will get rid of boarding passes and check-in. Passengers will be issued with a digital journey pass containing all relevant information in the biggest shakeup of global aviation in 50 years. There's that 50 again, like 50 states in the union. Let's do something right quick. Let's go with what does it say? Journey pass. We're calling this a journey pass. See if there's something in there. Journey pass. Journey pass comes out to 46. 46 means destruction. It also means death, like JFK, George Floyd, and George Orwell. I'm gonna say it again. At 46 years old, George Orwell, JFK, and George Floyd died at 46. Journey pass means 46. That's deep. Let's go into the ciphers. Satanic. 548. Wonder what that. I'll scan that a little bit later. But yeah, look at that. Journey pass is 46, y'all. Wow. And 50 years. America. Look, I tell you guys, 50. 50 is a big number. December 24th, like I told you guys, Joe Biden signed 50 laws into state before he left office. He signed 50 laws. And one of them was to make the American eagle our official bird, the 50. I won't bore you with all the 50s, but the other 50 was on December 4th of 2024, Luigi allegedly gunned down United Healthcare CEO in New York. Remember that? He was 50 years old. A lot of 50s, a lot of relevance to 50. Boarding passes and the need to check in for flights will be scrapped as part of the plans to overhaul the aviation industry. In the biggest shakeup in 50 years, passengers will be able to upload their passports to their phone and pass through airports using only their face for verification within 2 to 3 years. Oh yeah, it's coming. The International Civil Aviation Organization, the UN body responsible for policy, is tearing up existing rules for airports and airlines and creating a new digital travel credential, allowing passport information stored on devices to be used for travel. United Nations, people, if I'm not mistaken, the UN, of course, is out of New York. You know who donated the first money to build United Nations? The Rockefellers. That's right. Should we do another decode here? Digital travel. DIGITAL. Credential. CREDENTIAL. Digital travel credential. Boy, I tell you, DIGITAL. Travel, right? TRAVEL. Credential, CREDENTIAL. We'll diagnose this a little bit later. Digital travel credential. I wonder what that comes out to. 231. We'll look at that a little bit later. People, here's George Orwell. Again, he died at 46 years old. And if you're thinking like I'm thinking, it's only a matter of time where we're in a maze that we cannot get out of. this is being done deliberately. And again, I just got to go there. Once you're in, you're in. And you're talking about the risk of somebody having your data. And when it really comes down to it, there are different organizations and different governmental agencies. Like example, you got federal government, you've got aviation, who knows the computers that are connected to any and everything that you do on a daily basis. In other words, everybody is now a part of the web, the data web. Listen to what Orwell said back in the day about the future.
It's claimed that you have an ability to face unpleasant facts. Is that what you demonstrated in 1984 by drawing an accurate portrait of the future?
I think that allowing for the book being, after all, a parody, something like 1984 could actually happen. This is the direction the world is going in at the present time. In our world, there will be no emotions except fear, rage, triumph, and self-abasement. The sex instinct will be eradicated. We shall abolish the orgasm. There will be no loyalty except loyalty to the party. But always there will be the intoxication of power. Always, at every moment, there will be the thrill of victory, the sensation of trampling on an enemy who is helpless. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. The moral to be drawn from this dangerous nightmare situation is a simple one.
Don't let it happen, is what he said. As I doodled with the numbers, I came up with this. 1984 minus 2025 gives you 41. If the system is finished being rolled out in 3 years, it'll be 44. Barack Obama, who I believe is the Antichrist, was the 44th president. We're here. The Antichrist system, the atmosphere, the data gods, the change, the boot on the neck will be a reflection of really who's behind it. My name is Franchise Pierce. If you enjoy the work, please subscribe. Remember, just go to my site, click on my portrait here. If you want to help out the channel, because my videos do not go to the broad audience, and I'm sure you know why. I expose a lot of things. Click on more. I have Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, and PayPal. I also have a P.O. box if you want to mail a love offering. I appreciate it. If you cannot help, I appreciate it. Just don't worry about it. Pray for me, and we will pray for you. Again, I have Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, and PayPal. These judgments are coming because there's a fall of man that has to follow the fall of Lucifer. He was hurled down because he wanted to be like the Most High. He challenged God. It is written before the throne, it is holy. And now he is unholy. Satan became unholy the moment he had that thought. And so God cast him and a third of the angels down. And he's trying to fulfill that to be like the Most High. It won't be long, people. It's gradually happening. God is allowing us to see the change. And it's happening right before us. But guess what? He's risen. God bless you.